As you can see on my wrist right now, I have two different watches. This is a smartwatch. This is the Apple Watch Series 6, and this is a digital watch. This is the Casio DW2090T. And funnily enough, this is actually the watch that was worn by Tom Cruise in the first Mission Impossible movie. Which is kind of cool. In this video, we'll find out if a smartwatch is really that much better than a digital watch, and I'll give you my personal opinion on which watch I would go for at the end of this video. So let's get right into it. Yeah. So let's start with build quality. The Casio is by far the most durable watch you can get. It was worn in the Mission Impossible for a reason. This watch I've dropped a bunch of times. I've scratched it. Too many things to count. And it still works the exact same since the day I've got it. And I've had this watch for years. This, on the other hand, I've had for considerably less time, but I've been a bit more careful with how I use this watch as opposed to my Casio. But I can tell you that it is great in terms of build quality, but it is not as durable as the Casio watch. If I were to go on an outdoor hike, rock climbing, things of that nature, something a bit more hands-on, I would definitely trust the Casio to last longer than the Apple Watch would. So this round definitely goes to digital watch. Alright, so let's talk about the display. The Apple Watch comes with a touch display. The Casio does not. The Apple Watch is much easier to see in sunlight. The Casio has that calculator type display, which is a little bit harder to see at angles, especially if it's bright outside. But apart from that, if you're just trying to see the time and you're looking at the watch straight on, you should be completely fine. It's just a minor inconvenience if you just want to glance at your wrist as opposed to making it obvious that you're checking the time. Let's suppose you're like on a date or something, you kind of just want to glance at your watch because you want to know when it's time to leave. Or at some kind of event with a friend, you just kind of want to, look at your wrist without making it seem too obvious. But with the Casio, you might have to, properly look at the wrist to see the time. But apart from that, it is perfectly fine. This round definitely goes to the smartwatch though, in the Apple Watch. Alright, so let's talk battery life. The Casio blows the Apple Watch out of the water when it comes to battery life. Now, this should come as no surprise, but the Casio lasts way longer than the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch is rechargeable on the other hand, and the Casio is not. But I've changed the Casio's battery maybe once every 5, 6, 7 years. Yeah. The Apple Watch, on the other hand, depending on your usage, you might have to charge it every day or every other day. That's just how it is, especially if you're using it for tracking fitness, your health, checking notifications on it often. It does need to recharge at the end of the day. But thankfully, it has an all-day battery life. So for me, I charge it before I go to bed. So when I use it in the morning, it's ready and good to go. So that hasn't been that big of a deal for me. But in terms of battery life, it definitely goes to the digital watch in the Casio. So let's talk ease of use. Ease of use is an interesting topic because depending on who you are, you might find either of them to be easy to use. But if I'm being objective here, the Casio is definitely way easier to use than the Apple Watch. So digital watches, by extension, are most definitely easier to use than smartwatches. In these smartwatches, you have to do a little bit of setup. You have to link it to your phone, especially if it's an Android device. Even for your Apple Watches, you cannot use this Apple Watch without your cellular device unless you get the cellular version and you pay a monthly fee, which to me, but if you're talking about ease of use, it's definitely going to go to the Casio. It's very simple. All you need to change is probably the date when you get it and the time, and you should be good to go out of the box. This, you have to do a bit more setup, a bit more, linking. You might have to download a few apps if you're using Android, and so on and so forth. So ease of use definitely goes to the digital watch in the Casio. Alright, so let's talk features and functions. You could probably guess which one is going to win this category, but let's get into it anyway. So let's start with the Casio because it has less features and functions. It comes with 4 features and functions. Number 1, it tells you the time and date. That's pretty obvious. Number 2, it has a timer. It has a stopwatch. And it has an alarm. So that's pretty much it. That's all that the watch does. Oh, it has a light as well. It has a light. Yeah. It has... wait, the light didn't work. There you kind of go. You can kind of see it. Yeah, it has a light. The Apple Watch, on the other hand, has all of those features and many, many, many more. So much that I can't list in this video without making that video way too long. Luckily, I did make a review of this watch, and I'll put the link to that review in the description below. So if you want the list of all the features that this watch has, it should be in that video. Check it out in the description below. But just to give you a brief overview, it does everything that the Casio does alongside checking your health, fitness, notification. It can handle calls and so much more. So this category definitely goes to the smartwatch in terms of features. Yeah. Alright, so let's talk about the elephant in the room: price. The Casio retails for about $50 on Amazon, and the Apple Watch retails for about $330. The links to both watches are down in the description below, so if you want to pick one up for yourself, you can do that. Now, I'm no mathematician, but $280 difference between these two watches. Are the extra features and functions worth the extra price that you're paying for something like the Apple Watch over the Casio? That's up to you to decide. For me personally, I think it kind of is, given the extra functions that it provides. I am a tech enthusiast, so I like the extra features that the Apple Watch comes with. The fitness tracking, the health tracking, so on and so forth. It's great for me, but it might not be great for you. If you just want to tell the time, the Casio does that perfectly fine, along with the additional extra features in the timer and alarm that it brings. If you want a bit more and you have an extra breathing room of money to spend for something like that, you can do that. But it's up to you to decide. That's been it. That's the video. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Davaskye out.